Hey, folks, back talking about credit building. Today, we're talking about credit builder apps. 10 years ago, these did not exist. When we started Rental Karma 12 years ago, adding rent to credit reports, this was a brand new space. And a few companies have come into the rent building space, which is great because it adds proof and legitimacy that this is really needed. Just like the online banks we talk about, this is something that we all need that can help us have a better life. So it's simple. You should get credit for everything, all your bills you pay, especially rent. It's your biggest monthly expense. But since then, in the last 5, 6, 7 years, there's been an explosion of credit builder apps in the marketplace. They have different names. You'll see them. Some of them are what's called credit builder loans, which is nothing new. They've been around in credit unions for 20, 30 years. And we have an episode on that if you watch about those specifically. But then there's these other apps that are encouraging you to pay $50 or $100 a month to have access to a line of credit, kind of like an authorized user almost showing up on your credit report. But they're charging this exorbitant monthly fee for this. And the problem with it is that those services, unlike you getting grandma to add you as an authorized user to her old JCPenney credit card, these things show up on your credit report with no past history. They're all brand new accounts. And people see these things and they're like, oh, wow, this isn't their site. My score is going to go up 85 points in 3 weeks. What they're not telling you is these are extreme examples of what happened to people. And they're not telling me the averages and the total real numbers behind this. And there's also the fact that whenever you open up a new account, whether it's a credit builder app, a car loan, a personal loan, whatever those, a credit card, whatever it is, those show up the next month as a brand new account in your credit report. Think about it when we got our driver's license and our car insurance. The first month you went driving, you're like, wow, that's really expensive for car insurance. Why is that? Because you have no driving record. So the system sees it as these new accounts and says, oh, let's pause back. So your score actually will go down initially, and 15, 20 points for one new account when you have, 4 or 5 open accounts. The crazy part of it is people go up and sign up for one of these services, and then all of a sudden they're getting marketed to through retargeting on the internet. There are other competitors. And now you're seeing another one, and you're like, man, I'm in the credit building mood today. I'm going to go get me another one of those. It's like, I'm going to go get a refill of the iced tea, whatever. Next thing you know, you got 3 or 4 brand new accounts, right? This is the equivalent of getting 3 or 4 speeding tickets within a month. Go up to the judge and ask for forgiveness for that. The judge is going to laugh. They're going to be like, no, you should lose your license, if anything. Right? This isn't a one-off mistake. This is a habit. Well, the credit system looks at it and says, oh my gosh, who needs 4 brand new accounts within a 1-month period? It was built this way back in the 70s and 80s, right? And it looks at it and says, they must be desperate. They must be needing to live off of credit. They must have lost a job. How are they going to pay this back? So the system will flag it. And that person has 4 brand new accounts. Even if they haven't missed the payment or maxed out a card or anything, their score can go down 80 points. And it won't bounce back for 6 months to a year until there's a lot of positive payment history on all these brand new accounts. And I empathize with people that do this because they simply didn't know, Andy. They just didn't know, and they didn't know the red flags of credit, and they didn't realize that this would do that. They went there with the good intention of, I'm going to spend a lot of money and get a better credit score. And they get a little bit, and they see the second and the third, and next thing you know, they got a few of them, and it's just a backwards progress. And when I do one-on-ones with members, I tell you, so often I see this happen. Probably 1 out of every 7 or 8 people have just had 2 or 3, 4 brand new accounts in the last couple of months. I tell them, I've never recommended one of these apps. There's only one use case for these, and I'll tell you what it is. And 2, I tell them to just go and close them and take that money they're paying for the monthly fee, get in a high yield savings. If they have any credit card bills left open, just pay those off. Most of these folks only have a few $100s in credit card bills anyhow. We're not talking huge amounts of money. And when I go through that and I explain it to them, They have the aha moment and they realized it. And they instantly go, I'm going to close these today. They don't, they don't, they just didn't have the understanding. The only situation where I would even recommend one of these, and I only think a credit builder app that's like the ones that we're using is, I would recommend a credit builder loan to someone that is maybe 18 or 19 years old and they're just getting brand new into credit for the very first time. And then they don't have a goal of buying a house in the next year. They're just starting off the journey. It can make a little bit of sense in those situations. Stay away from these things, guys. It is not what it's not what it's meant to be, or it's not as it's marketed. Let's just say that. They're not telling you the pitfalls of it. They're only showing you the highlights of a handful of individuals. All right. So stay away, make your decisions.